You're listening to the Marriage Clinic Podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now, your host, Joshua Margaret.
Welcome to the Marriage Clinic Podcast. This is a podcast about love, marriage, and personal development. My name is Joshua Mogri, and I hope I'm inspiring you and equipping you with all the knowledge and skills that you need to cause you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you've listened to the past podcasts, great. This is episode 6. I would like you to like this podcast wherever you're listening to it or watching it. I also want you to go ahead and share it, and please leave us a comment. Like right now, you can put a smiley face if you are on any of the social medias right now, so we know you are here. It's good to be back. Last week, I brought the fire. We brought the fire. Our ladies were not too happy because I was dealing with the 10 kinds of women you shouldn't get married to. Some of you brought the heat, but it was all in love. And today we are coming back to deal with, now, ladies, I talked about 10 ladies men shouldn't marry, and I want to do one better for our women. So women, today I am talking about the 11 men to avoid marrying. 11 men to avoid marrying. Take a moment, share it, copy this link, put it on your status, share it via WhatsApp, share it via Telegram, and any other means you can share it. Please go ahead. I'm giving you a couple of seconds to share this. Just pause it and share it, and then come back, and we're going to have so much fun. I'm glad to have you from countries across Africa. You are sending in messages. We are so happy about what we are seeing. We're getting some messages as well from the US, the UK, and all other places, Europe, and even Asia. We are glad to hear from you. I hope this information is making a difference. It's helping you. You don't have to agree with everything, but enjoy it. And today I'm repping my alma mater. And so let's go. The 11 men to avoid marrying. Last week, when I spoke, my number one is same as last week. That is, avoid marrying the unbeliever. We all have a belief system. I'm a person of faith. I believe in the Bible. I believe in Jesus Christ. And you, I hope you believe so, but it's possible that you are listening and you are a person of a different faith. But what you must understand is that marriages work better when the person you are getting married to is of the same faith as you are. Whenever I say this in seminars and I'm talking, people always throw the outlier at me. They say, well, I know this person who was probably a Buddhist who got married to an Ekanka, and their marriage was working fine. Yes, there will be outliers, and you may think you are the outlier, but most likely you are not. But in most situations, marriages work better when the two parties have the same belief system, they are reading from the same book, they hold the same moral principles, and they are able to solve problems from the same source. So what we say is, number one, do not marry a man who is an unbeliever, who does not believe what you believe. To give a quote from the Bible, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? All right. So this is what the Bible says to us. And this is what you should do. Look for someone that believes the same things that you believe. And hopefully that is the Bible. So don't compromise. Make sure that this is a person that both of you know what you believe in and agree with it. Number two, the second kind of guy you shouldn't marry is the mummy's boy. Mummy's boy. Mummy's boy. In just saying it, I'm smiling because The mummy's boy is someone who is so attached to his mother. Ephesians, still reading from the Bible, Ephesians chapter 5 verse 31 says, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." When we get married, it is separation from two families to start a new family. So if you're getting married to a man who is controlled and manipulated by his family, I'm not talking about the fact that he shouldn't consult his family. Hey, I come from a tight-knit family. I have several sisters and brothers, and I'm close to my parents, and I discuss issues with them, but I should be my own man. But where you are in a relationship with somebody who has to take decisions after the approval of his mother or his father, the question is, are you marrying him or you are marrying multiple people? So they shouldn't be a person who are manipulated by their family, and they shouldn't have attachment issues. And they shouldn't walk in the belief that they must put their mother or their father before you. Because when you get married, the number one priority in your life is your spouse. The number one priority in your life is your spouse. So I advise, do not marry the mummy's boy. Then number 3, the third kind of man you should avoid is the man I like to call the wasted years. Wasted years. Write that down. Remember that, and please, this is just going to run for 25 minutes, so please let your attention be here. Focus. Your attention is going to really determine how much you are going to retain. Take down notes. It will be helpful. But the wasted years. We used to sing this song. There was this song we used to sing when we were much younger, which was called Wasted Years, oh, how foolish. What you must realize is that you will always, ladies, you will encounter men who have spent the best part of their life doing everything and anything. They spent the best part of their life doing everything and anything, and they are now at a point where they have wasted the years, but they are looking for a young lady they can settle down with. I love to read from the Psalms, and it says, "Teach us to number each of our days so that we may grow in wisdom." Let me give you an example of what that looks like. You're a 22-year-old girl and a 43-year-old guy approaches you and wants to get married to you. Do I think you can marry someone who is much older? Yes. But the question is, what has the person been doing with their life all this while? I have seen too many times where a man wastes his life, does so many things he cannot account for, spends his money anyhow, and he cannot marry anyone closer to his age range because he's intimidated. I mean, when you are a 40-year-old and you are trying to date a 20-something-year-old, what normally happens is that you're going to find out that having a car seems to impress her. Having a flashy phone impresses her. But when you are 40-year-old and you are dating a 35-year-old, she wants to know, what have you been doing with your life? What has been going on? What exactly is happening? So it's important, ladies, as much as possible, avoid the wasted years men who have done nothing with their lives and wants to now focus on you and settle with you. I know what's going through your mind may be, well, are you saying I shouldn't marry someone who is much older than me? Maybe if you put it in the question, as I told you, we're going to have question and answers sometimes. So just send in your questions and I probably would deal with this question one of the days. So avoid the wasted years man. Number 4, avoid the abuser. Avoid the abuser. And listen very carefully, ladies. Here I'm talking about the emotionally abusive and the physically abusive person. Both forms of abuse are equally as bad. Never try to work on a relationship with a man who hits you. A man who hits you. Ladies, listen to something. If you are African, you would know that one of the things that happens in our rural settings is that when the old ladies go for firewood, they tie it up and then they put it on their heads. I mean, almost every African country does that. But there's a saying in Ghana, which is in Tree. It says that "Woku krumponye enye wo swae. What it means is that if you are lifting the bundle and it's heavy, how much more when you put it on your head? If you are dating somebody who hasn't come to pay your dowry, that's if you're African, your labola, have I said it well for those who are in South Africa, hasn't come to pay your dowry, hasn't approached your family, and he's already willing to beat you up, then when he does marry you, he most likely will kill you. So you need to understand that we do not marry people who are abusive. And that's physical abuse. Now there's the emotional abuse. Is he always putting you down? Is he trying to control you with mind games, telling you are not beautiful enough, always trying to put you down? If you marry someone who puts you down emotionally, he's going to keep doing it. As I said in last week's episode, people don't change much after marriage, or their change is very slow. So what you see is what you get. A lot of the times, I believe in God, I believe in the Creator, I believe in a higher power, I believe that He is God. And I am telling you now that I believe that God will always show you things that you will deal with in marriage while you are dating, while you are in courtship, while you are in a relationship. So if he is emotionally abusive or he's physically abusive, my sister, run for your life. I mean, run for the hills. And especially the pattern of abuse is normally he's abusive. He comes back to apologize. He gives you a lot of gifts. He swears he's never going to do that again. He tries to gaslight you into thinking that it was your fault he abused you. So he says things like, I have a temper. You shouldn't have pushed me, and so on and so forth. And he keeps saying, I will change. Any man that has the effrontery to lift his hand and hit a woman is not husband material. Please run, my dear sisters, run. So number 4, do not marry the abusive person. Number 5, do not marry the manipulative guy. Do not marry the man who is manipulative, who is always trying to switch things up and move things around and always trying to get into your head and sows a seed or passes a comment. You're getting a job. He's not comfortable with the person, men you are working with. So his insecurities make him begin to put thoughts into your mind. He wants to manipulate how you dress, where you go, who your friends are. Now hear me out. The person you are dating should be able to share their thoughts about who you are with, but they should not dictate, either covertly or overtly, how you live your life. Even your husband shouldn't dictate how you live your life. He's supposed to lead. He's supposed to direct you, but he's not supposed to lord it over you. So where you are in a relationship with a guy who's always trying to manipulate the situation, he's always trying to manipulate the story. He's trying to make you think that you are seeing things. He's cheating. And when you get signals, he's telling you are insecure. He's saying things that are breaking your confidence and things that are supposed to push you to do things you don't want to do. Avoid number 5, Mr. Manipulator. All right. Number 6. Avoid the Casanova and the sex addict. The Casanova and the sex addict. Avoid him. Now, this is my perspective that is backed by both the Bible, that's the faith, and also backed by research. Recently, I probably will put it in the show notes. There was an article on I can't remember if it was the Washington Journal or one of these places that spoke about the fact that they had found out that couples who did not cohabit in their 20s had some of the strongest marriages. I did a whole 3-part series on the lies and myths about sex. If you are dating a guy who says, I cannot hold back from having sex until marriage, run for the hills. Yeah, I can already see it in your eyes. You're like, yeah, are you sure? Times have changed. Things don't work like that anymore. Sex bonds us. No. Go look for those episodes. Understand this. Understand this. When you are married, you're not always going to be around each other. And my inability to control myself around you when I love you is an indication that most likely I won't be able to control myself when I love you, but I'm not around you. So avoid the Casanova. First of all, avoid the person who's pushing you for sex, and avoid the person who is sleeping with everybody and saying, once we married, we'll change. Now that's another lie that ladies, sometimes my sisters, you believe that I can't understand. He's cheating, but he's telling you that when I get married to you, it will stop. Pigs might as well be flying. So avoid the sex addict. If he says he can't live without sex, let him find someone else. But I assure you, he's not marriage material. Now I'm going to hit you with the seventh one. And the seventh one, I'm kind of hesitant. I'm kind of hesitant to bring you the seventh one because I can just see the comments. But hey, as I said, this is the marriage clinic. We are here to talk about love, relationships, and your personal development. I'm to inspire you to have fulfilling relationships. And I understand that you will not always agree with everything that I say. And I'm willing to have a conversation around it. Send me a message. We can debate it. I can give you further information. But I am telling you the truth. I'm not here to tell you what you need to hear. I'm here to tell you I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. Scratch that. What you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. And if you would understand some of these things and avoid these kinds of people, your chances of having a happier marriage are higher. Does it mean that if you avoid all these 11 men I'm talking about, you're going to have a happier marriage? Most likely. Most likely. There's no assurance that that is what is going to happen. But if you see, you reduce the risk of having a bad marriage when you avoid these kinds of men. And number 7 is a jobless man. Whoosh. Yep. Let me explain why. A man finds his self-worth, a lot of his self-worth from what he does, the work he does. A man who is not working often is not whole enough. I'm not talking about a temporal loss of job. Like I'm talking about someone who is not working and is not putting in the work, doing his best to be working. I'm talking about the person who is not working and is comfortable not working. He's cashing his welfare checks. He's okay staying at home the whole day. He's not actively looking for something. I didn't say don't marry a rich man. I said avoid the jobless man. At least he should be doing something. Now let me run back. Let's go into the Bible. In Genesis chapter 2 verse 15 it says, "And the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it." And verse 16, "And the Lord commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed it up, the flesh instead thereof." And then we know the story, and then Eve comes. God gave man work before he gave him a wife. He gave him work before he gave him a wife. What you need to understand is that for a man to be the best kind of husband, he must be gainfully employed. I didn't say he must be rich, but he should have a place he puts in his effort that gives him a certain sense of worth, and he needs to have a job. Don't marry a man that does not have a job because it doesn't end well. Needs to be able to put a roof over your heads, or the two of you need to be able to combine and put a roof over your heads, a place to sleep. I'm not talking of temporal job loss. I'm talking of a chronic situation where the person either keeps quitting jobs or doesn't really want to work. Okay? Brings us to number 8. Now put some fire in the comment section right now because we're getting there. It brings us to number 8. Number 8. Don't marry a man who does not have a sense of purpose. Do not marry a man who does not have a sense of purpose. Josh, what do you mean? What a man brings to a marriage is leadership. Okay? What a man brings to a marriage is leadership and direction. Leadership and direction. A man who knows his purpose can be married to a woman who earns more than him and he's not intimidated. Why? Because he understands his purpose. He knows where he's going. Now, if the man is the head and the man is supposed to lead, the question is, where is he taking you? So if you're dating a guy right now, the question is, where is he taking you? Oh, yes, he has a job, and in his job, he'll be promoted in 3 years, and from there, he'll become senior management. Yes, that's the progression, but where is he taking you? What vision has he sold to you that makes you want to come in and bring all your talents and all your giftings and all your childbearing and everything you can do to bring to bear in his life and in both of your lives? Where he's heading, do you want to go? So if you're dealing with a man who cannot, he's here and he's there, he doesn't know what he wants to do. Today he wants to start working on roofs. The next day he wants to be a DJ. The next time he wants to go back to school. And then he doesn't have a sense of purpose. He doesn't have a vision for his life. He should have a vision for his life. All right? He should have a vision for his life. And he should know where you fit in. I didn't say he should be rich. I didn't say he should be prominent. I didn't say he should be influential. All I am saying is that he should have a vision for his life and know where he's going. That's what needs to be done. So make sure if the man does not have a purpose, do not marry him. Coming to number 9. Coming to number 9. Coming to number 9. Can I hit you with number 9? The ninth kind of man you shouldn't marry is a man who is financially illiterate. Some of you are like, Josh, did you go there? Yes, I went there. This is the Marriage Clinic podcast. I'm bringing all the heat. I'm bringing all the fire. I'm leaving no stone unturned. I'm telling you as it is, because sometimes your friends and family don't know how to say it because they don't know how you take it. But I'm bringing all the heat, all the heat. So put some fire in the chat. Don't marry the financial illiterate. What do I mean? A lot of the problems you have in marriage are around money. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid out for the righteous. As I said, I'm a person of faith. Someone can have a PhD and be financially illiterate. Someone could have a secondary school or a high school education and be financially literate. What does the man know about money and how does he handle money? What are his thoughts on savings, investments? What does he value? How much of his money from the beginning of the year is left? Does he spend all that he has? Can he give you financial direction? Is he willing to learn about his finances? And if you're a man and you say, well, I'm ready for marriage, and you do not know, you do not understand money, how to keep a home, how to balance a budget, what is an asset, if you are still more bent on living to prove to people that you are rich instead of being rich and wealthy, then my brother, you are not financially literate. A man worth following and a man worth taking his name is a man who understands money and understands how to handle money. I'm not talking about the person who is betting or following the next get-rich-quick scheme. I'm talking about the person who understands money, understands that when I earn this amount, I save this amount. If he's a person of faith, I tithe this amount, I invest this amount, and the rest I know what to spend on. A person who is not so insecure that he believes he must buy a car he can't afford, live in a home he can't afford, try to impress people who don't care about what he's doing. But somebody who has a plan. has a plan that says that I'm going to cater for my household, my children's fees should be paid. When I'm old and I'm aged, I should have enough to live. So if the man doesn't understand money, run. Run. If he doesn't understand money, run. As I said, this is the Marriage Clinic podcast. I'm bringing you the best of information. And please do follow me on all the socials. I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Anchor, and all the other places. You can find me on Spotify. Yeah, follow me on all these places and you keep getting some good information. Now, the 10th kind of man is the misogynistic man. Pardon my pronunciation. All right? This is the man who believes that he being a man makes him God. A man who does not respect women. Avoid a man who does not respect women. A man who does not understand that God created man and woman equal, but the husband is still the head of the home. A man who does not value your opinion, is only concerned about what you look like and not what you think. A man who cannot say sorry, who believes a woman is beneath him. Avoid such a man. Because understand me, you need a man who sees value in you. You need a man who sees value in you. So you need to bond yourself to a man who respects you, respects your point of view, is willing to do the right things and be in the right place. So avoid the 10th kind of man. Now we're coming to 11. 11. Avoid, I like to call them the renovation. The renovation kind of man. Who is the renovation kind of man? This is the man that has potential, but there's so much work to be done on him. So you get into the relationship as if you are a contractor who is trying to renovate a building. Yeah, he's a good man, but the windows are a little broken. Yeah, he's a good man. Please. If there's so much work to be done on him and you believe you are the Messiah, help him, but don't marry him. But if he's so broken and he keeps saying, and you hear them say this, I'm just looking for a woman who's going to be able to help me out. Yeah, help him out, but it doesn't mean you have to marry him. You're helping him put his finances together. You have to go look for forms for him to go back to school. You have to tell him what he needs to do. He doesn't seem to have a direction. You feel like you are building him all the while. He's not marriage material. I don't know how, I don't know how much more I could say it, but he's not marriage material. My sister, my prayer and my thoughts for you. Listen, I'm passionate about women because when a marriage does not work out, women get the short end of the stick. Women are stuck with the children. Women are stuck with the infections. Women are stuck with the mental health issues. And you must understand that the decisions you make while you're single affect who you marry and how things turn out. So a quick recap, the 11 kinds of guys we are not marrying. Number 1, we're not marrying the unbeliever. Number 2, we are not marrying a mommy's boy. Number 3, we are not marrying the person who has wasted all his years. Number 4, we are not marrying the abuser, be it emotional or physical. Number 5, the manipulative guy. Number 6, the Casanova or sex addict. Number 7, the jobless man. Number 8, the man with no purpose. Number 9, the financial illiterate. Number 6, the man who does not respect women. Number 10, the man who does not respect women. And number 11, the man that needs so much work. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been the Marriage Clinic. Please don't forget to put in a comment. Please like this. When you like this, it puts it before more people. I always love to hear from you. So send me an email, send me a private message. I want to hear from you and be able to respond. Please share this. If you could share this on your socials, I would be so grateful. That's like the best gift you can give me this week and this month. So please do share. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Look me up. Send me a message. Let's have conversations. It's been great coming to you with the Marriage Clinic. Stay blessed, and we'll meet again next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT. And I'm in Ghana. So just look at the Ghana time. If you're in Nigeria, Tanzania, Sudan, just look at it. But it will always be there for you to listen to at latter times. So take care and enjoy your day.